World history remembers King Solomon as the paragon of wisdom, a man whose judgment was so profound that rulers traveled across vast deserts just to hear him speak. He could resolve the most complicated disputes of others with a single insight. Yet when it came to his own life, it was the opposite. The same leader who preached moderation and mindfulness lived a life of unrestrained excess. Eventually, his choices led to the downfall of his own kingdom. This is not just historical irony. It is a fundamental human phenomenon known in modern psychology as the Solomon paradox. You can solve your friend's relationship problems in an afternoon, but remain trapped in your own cycle of self-sabotage for years. We are good advisors to everyone except ourselves. This phenomenon exists because our brains process information through two different lenses, depending on who is at the center of the story. When we look at a friend's problem, we are viewing it from a different perspective. We see the patterns, the red flags, and the logical exits because we are not influenced by their emotions. However, the moment the problem becomes our own, we change this perspective. We are no longer analyzing a situation. We are surviving an experience. Our perspective is now influenced by our fears, egos, and the emotional impact of our past. We are no longer looking at it rationally and logically. Instead, we try to protect ourselves and our ego from the reality of our decisions. The Solomon paradox makes us feel like hypocrites because we already know the right path. We have given countless advice to our friends and family, but we are still walking in the wrong direction. In order to give good advice, we need to be objective, but our ego is the opposite of objective. It is a filter that colors every piece of experience to ensure our own comfort or to validate our existing narratives. When a close friend asks for advice, our ego is not on the line, so the truth is easy to see. But when we ask ourselves for advice, the truth threatens our identity, so we subconsciously bury it under a mountain of rationalizations. The truth is, we cannot simply tell ourselves to be more rational. Instead, we should understand the art of self-distancing. The most effective way to use our own wisdom is to stop being the protagonist of our own thoughts. If we are struggling with an important decision, we shouldn't ask for advice from our own perspective. We should view ourselves from the outside, asking what the logical decision would be instead of the personal or emotional one. This simple change of perspective forces the brain to shift from a first-person immersive state to a third-person observant state. By treating ourselves as a stranger, we grant ourselves the clarity we usually reserve for those we truly value. As Lao Tzu reminds us, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Wisdom unfolds when we step back, rather than forcing ourselves to see everything at once. In the end, the goal of a well-lived life isn't to oppose or fight the Solomon paradox, but to acknowledge that we are all inherently self-preserving creators of our own stories. True wisdom is not found in having all the answers for yourself, but in having the humility to step outside of your own skin to look at your life through the eyes of a wise stranger. The Solomon paradox remains one of the most interesting phenomena in human history. Solomon was certainly a controversial man, renowned for his unmatched wisdom, yet often criticized for his personal contradictions. It is fascinating because it shows that wisdom is not only a sign of intelligence or knowledge, but also of psychological distance.